Hey YouTube, today we're going to talk about Spyderco K2 designed by Farid Mehr. This is a Bowie shape folding knife with a Bowie shaped blade, about 0.14 inch thickness, 3.55 millimeters, 4.5 inch length CPM-10V blade, and 5.5 inch handle. The knife opens very smoothly. It's 6.3 ounces, about 175 grams. Very light knife, very light frame, locks in at about, I would say, 80%. And we have this wavy pattern frame lock, which is a Farid Mehr signature frame lock, the wavy pattern. I like the slicing effect, the slicing thinness of this blade, and CPM-10V, that's meant to be very wear resistant with a 9.75% content of vanadium. Its wear resistance is just perfect. You don't see in knives this blade material frequently, so I was happy to see that someone actually was using that. Now, the one weakness this blade material has, CPM-10V, is salt water especially. So if you're a fisherman or you frequently go to ocean and you need a knife to use, this is not a knife for you. If this blade touches salt water, you will literally see this blade rust right in front of you. So that's its major weakness, the wetness, the salt water especially. Blade shape, the Bowie, it's an interesting blade shape, especially the frame sits so well in the knife, and with its lightweight it feels like you're holding a fixed blade Bowie. So that's definitely an interesting feature, and this pattern. What I don't like about this knife, and what I find where it needs some improvement, is the handle itself. Yes, this knife feels big. It's gonna have a big handle in comparison, but it's just not too comfortable. It feels very stiff. It's the edges, I think, need some more rounding overall, so it feels more comfortable, more friendly in the hand. I like jimpings a lot, so I would prefer to see some sort of jimping at the on the handle where it touches the blade, and on the blade spine. Jimping would have been very welcome, since it does slide, and if your fingers slid, this knife could cut them off clean. This blade is absolutely terrifyingly sharp. So I would love to see that part for this knife, as well as choil to make sharpening of this blade a little easier job. It does come with bronze phosphorus washers inside, and it's fairly easy to take the knife in these two spots and two over here. It comes apart easily. It's easy to clean, oil, and put it back, so that's one plus there. Pocket clip, it's just a design to be tip down carry. You don't really have an option to move it tip up or to the side if you're a left-handed carrier. But what I find really problematic about this knife is that if you look, the blade is very dangerously, scary close to the ending point of the handle, and that's just the shape of the Bowie-style blade. However, imagine you're carrying it in your right pocket and you have some kind of a gum wrapping, and by accident the gum wrapping touches the blades in your pocket. It touches the blade, and just for the force of it, it opens it up, and as you move, boom, it can go through your muscle tissues, through your bones, through your legs. It can cause some extremely dangerous incident. And believe me, if this knife opens in anyone's pocket, that person won't need to wait 4 or 6 hours waiting in the emergency room. It's really scary when you think about that, because I have heard stories. I've known people whose pocket knife opened and it did damage, and they did their leg, and they did need to get stitches. So if I would carry this probably on the left side, because you have ending of the pocket that might somehow hold the knife and not let it open. But again, there is still some chance of something. You always have some things in your pocket. There is always a chance something touching against the tip of the Bowie blade and opening it. So if I were to carry it, probably not in my pants pocket, but in my jacket, in my coat, any pocket, but not in my pants. No, it's way too scary for it to open, and for me there is a clear danger that this might happen. It's just the tip is so close. Anything they can do, the designer, about that, I don't know. Maybe make this handle part at the end slightly different, thicker, a little bit bigger shape, but that's gonna add overall weight, more material. But again, as a user, I want my knife to be practical. I want my knife to be pocket friendly, and the last thing, I want it to open and do some damage. Overall, how I would rate this knife, it's a big knife. It's an interesting knife, definitely. I would give it solid 7 out of 10 points, 7 out of 10 stars. I think it would be good to